Yes! Greetings, salutations, good day, and hi, yous guys and gals, yous boys and girls, and everyone watching from around the world. Welcome back to IndyCar's 16th series on this stellar 4th of May. Yes, May the 4th be with you always. Rounds 3 and 4 for today. We have rounds at Texas Motor Speedway and Barber Motorsports Park. Coincidentally, there's real-life races taking place this weekend at those two tracks. NASCAR visiting Texas this weekend, and real-life IndyCar visiting Barber this weekend. Also, after those two rounds, we have a very important qualifying session for the part-time drivers, the 15 remaining part-time drivers, and the Talent Freedom 100 winner. Those 16 drivers fighting for the last 9 spots in next Sunday's Indy 500. So let's have a look at the points as they stand. We'll get through them really quickly. Limu leading with 82 points, 9 ahead of Dookie Bird, winner at St. Pete, 73 points. Annie, winner at Michigan, 70. 3 AM's Olivia Monroe is 4th with 64, and Nyana Banyana is 5th with 54. And Snuffy also in 5th with 54, so tied for 5th, I suppose. But it's still early on, there's still 13 rounds left to sit through now. Notice a couple names that are struck out. In the 26th position, Vividly Vivi, and in the 47th position, Rayu Guigui. I found out a bit too late that they joined an agency, so they're stepping down from IndyCar for the rest of the series, and we wish them good luck for in their new agency. So yeah, Rayu will go without having competed in a single race. Awkwardly enough. Here I am. Let's say hello to my commentator for today. Hadak, hello, welcome back.
Well, what a nice morning we have here. We got Barber, but before that we got Texas, and after those two races we got qualification for the part-timers for the Indy 500. Funny how all of this comes through. We are in the month of May, of course. We are getting ourselves ready for the biggest races in Indy VTuber racing with the qualifying, but before that we got races in Texas and Barber to deal with. And if you remember the first 2 races that we've had, Ani won in Michigan, which is a speedway track that has an almost similar profile to Texas. So I would say that maybe we will see a repeat oval specialist winning in Michigan, but in let's say Barber, I would say that it's more like, how do you put this? It's more like we're going to throw our hat in the ring and just see which one sticks. But whatever the case is, we got interesting races coming up in the next few minutes here. First of all, we got Barber. So Dag, let's hit the race button, or rather, let's hit the low button, because I can't wait to get racing here.
Yeah. First, you'll notice Elias Delaria's Delara that she'll use for qualifying. I suppose we'll use that car as the placeholder car for now, before we'll get to see it used in the qualifying heats. Elias Delaria, of course, winning the TF 100 yesterday in a fantastic photo finish. 0.025 seconds, the winning margin between her and Utada Zoe.
Well, we haven't seen that every day. I did catch up on the finish, and I would say it has been a breathtaking finish. I was watching the final 2 laps as I was also covering the actually the race in Sebring, the Hall Type International Sebring 80 minutes. I was also watching the finish of the TF 100, and I was also in shock and awe, Dag, just to see the back and forth between Tata Zoe and LS Stellaris. But anyways, you gotta need to be in it to win it, and I'd say that LS Stellaria has done a very good job to make use of chance when given. Yeah. So I'd say that we'll be seeing more of the same here in Texas, in the next few races, of course.
Yes. All right, Texas for round 3. Texas Motor Speedway, located in Fort Worth. 1.5 mile quad oval, 4 turns. Turns 1 and 2 banked at 20 degrees. Turns 3 and 4 banked at 24. Front stretch and back stretch 5 degrees each. 60 laps for this race, or 26 minutes, whichever elapses first. And let's have a look at the track preview. Go ahead, Adak.
All right, so Texas, where everything is bigger. So, anyways, you go to the front stretch here, and you can see here, as with all of the ovals here, I believe this is a recent layout here. Turns 1 and 2 have lower banking, if I'm not mistaken, than turns 3 and 4. So, if you want to set up a move, you got might either want to carry low speed in 3 and 4, or try to experiment with racing lines in turns 1 and 2. This will come in handy if you are if tire wear comes into play. So you might need to experiment a bit. I hope the racing in Texas in this IndyCar series is more fun than in real life.
Yes, we all miss seeing real life IndyCar racing on this track. The last one that took place in 2023, that was a superb race. So of course the Penske folks couldn't find a way to get back onto that track for future years. Instead,
it's a bit of a shame here.
Instead, there's going to be a street race in 2026 near the Dallas Cowboys stadium in Arlington. So,
well, that's something to look forward to. Don't watch out for the polar bear.
Polar bear?
Yeah, something like that. But you know what I mean. You know what I mean. But anyways, let's load the circuit.
Load.
All right, so I would expect big names to be DNQing in this race, maybe, but I would say that the odds for that will be around 60%, but we'll see about that.
All right, let's put my soundboard and set the grid for this race, and I'm afraid Nimi won't qualify for this one.
I see. What did I tell you? So, and also Lucy Pyre, Meet, Akamanimune, Bao, and that will also be the ones that will not be qualifying. And I believe this 30 car field.
Yes, 30 cars for each race, save for the 40 car field for the VTuber Indy 500. Let's see who will start at pole, and it's Shirei Faulan, better known as Skuchan.
Very nice to see here. Also, I think I see a pattern here, but let me explain the starting lineup here. Skuchan lines up alongside Annie, who of course won in an oval round 1 in Michigan. That's row 1. Umikyoku 3rd, Kitanya 4th, Kiwidoki 5th, Hori 10th and 6th. Shirley and Koki make it row 4. Doobie and Kawasaki Sui in 9th and 10th. Kali Kaliko in 11th. Laimu 12th. Juna Unagi in 13th.
And why is why is placeholder there? That doesn't count. That I'm afraid doesn't count.
Oh dear.
I forgot to. Why is placeholder there? It shouldn't be there. I'm sorry. We'll have to reset everything. And let's go back to our usual placeholder car and try again.
All right, let's do it again. Let's see how it works from here.
Yeah.
I mean, I'll tell you this right now. I'm with you with this thing. I'm with you when it comes to situations like this. I mean, having such hiccups like this, at least that just shows you the human aspect of hosting a racing series. Oop. Anyways, let's just hope that
this just doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Let's just hope that we get to see better
Take 3.
A better thing from the host.
Take 3.
Come on. Let's not make the host run. Let's not make the placeholder car run. Ooh, holding our bated breath for this.
Any oval drivers? Yes, I see oval drivers. Yes, that makes more sense. Let's try again. Let's try again with qualifying. This time,
There we
Meat
go.
still doesn't qualify. Meat still doesn't qualify. This time it's Hinabo, Bina Lucy, Meat, Chibi Doki, and
Shy Lily as well.
Don't.
Anyways,
qualify.
All right, let's introduce the starting. Let's introduce the starting lineup, shall we?
No. This time it's Calico. That's it, Paul.
Ooh, that's a bit crazy here. Calico with on pole position. Niro-sama in second place. Lane Lazar and Yanya Banyanya on third and fourth. Nina Saotome and Saroe in fifth and sixth. Umi Kyoko and Annie. Oh, looks like Annie signs the top 10. Watch out for Havoc from Annie. Scoochen and Cottontail VA 9th and 10th. Sui in 11th, Unagi 12th. That's a pattern that we have noticed here. And then you got Yasatoiki in 13th. 14th has to be Diariku, Akuma Numine in 15th. Min Phantom in 16th. Oh, spooky. Olivia Monroe 17th, Doobie 18th, Hore 1010 19th, Snuffy 20th, Captain Hannah 21st, Lima 22nd, Doki Bird 23rd. Well, at least she makes it this time. Kitania 24th, Ren Penrose 25th, Nimi actually makes it this time in 26th. 27th, Ida Pochi, the VTuber that also is an illustrator for Popoli Arena in Hall Life. Bao 28th, Ami Aranya and Koki make up the final spots in this Texas race. I hope this race goes very big.
Yeah, so I have 60 laps to sit through, of course.
Let's see how it goes from here.
Yeah, we have no further time to waste, so just hitting the next session button and make sure all.
Let's hit the race button, Dag.
Yeah, make sure all 30 cars look good, and we should be set to go. Okay.
Let's hit the race button, Dag. Can't wait to see how this race goes. I'm literally on a dual screen setup, and given that we got Kawasaki Sui in this race, and I'm playing FIFA 16 right now, let's just hope I'm able to do some juggling.
Okay, safety car coming out, and we will speed it up just to get this race underway. We'll start just before turn 3. Firestone Fast 6, Callie Nero, Lena, Nyana, Nina, and Soroway, and there's 24 other cars also racing besides those 6. Okie dokie, let's see what happens. Round 3 here in Texas Motor Speedway, No Limits, Texas. Let's see what happens here. And the green flag is waved.
There we go. And based on my observations right now, we got the bottom lane also working as intended, but we already have the pole sitter. I believe Calico still staying on the outside. No switchbacks for now as the 15 rows of cars start to get dispersed between each other. But here is where the inside line really starts to be favorable in all of the corners here. If you go around the outside, then you're gonna get caught out. You see Nina Saotome and her co in the bottom lane, absolutely ripping everyone who runs in the top side of the lane in the corners. So if you want to be somewhere, you gotta be on the bottom.
Three
wide. Well, what were you expecting in these types of oval racing, especially when it comes to open wheelers using with high power and high downforce, even in a low downforce setup?
And the good thing about this track there, the good thing about this track mod for R Factor, no P1 track bite.
Ooh, no P1 track bite. Dag, can you elaborate us on detail about what that means?
That surface that's on the high parts of the turns on this track, used in some tracks, but seemingly most severely here at Texas Motor Speedway. PJ1 track bite, P1 track bite. Look up track bite.
That one. Oh, the PJ1. I see. So it's basically the rubber compound that is being laid out on the track to artificially increase grip here. Of course, that has come to the detriment of racing in mainly IndyCar, and in NASCAR, it's not even as effective. But anyways, the Squibby-chan, I like to call her the Squibby-chan, leads the field here against Calico, the pole sitter. As you can see here, 3-wide action here. Yasatoiki and Saotome, where did they come from? What happened to a Scooch-chan? It feels like she lost a lot of grip in the middle of the corner.
Where did she go down? She's currently 8th, probably as far down as 10th, maybe 9th or 10th, but just quickly trying to rebound back into business, as we're seeing towards the front Numi and Olivia Monroe and Yasso Toiki at it with each other. Outside lines
and also,
slightly faster than inside here.
Also, I do notice here, looks like the...
Come on now!
All right, what happened here? Penrose and 1010 not having a 10 out of 10 performance here. Oh, Ida Poichi with a front wing gone. What has happened?
It's probably all three who have lost their front wings.
Very, very unfortunate, but back to the stereotypical pack racing here. If you have a big enough track and you don't have enough horsepower and have a lot of grip, then you're gonna go, and that means you go flatter in all the corners. The name of the game this time for racing now has to go to whoever uses the slipstream the most, and if you can have a slipstream train, a long one at that, then you can be faster than those who have a shorter slipstream train.
Yeah.
And it also is dependent on the lead car's amount of grip. So if the lead car has a lot of grip, then you might be able to follow the leader along the way. But if there's minimal grip, then you might also have to back off as well to stay where you are with the leader. And then that creates a dilemma where if you peel away, then that means that you're going to be having a lot of resistance in the air. And if you still stay on the back of a driver who has not much grip on the corners, then you might also be backed off as well. But right now we are seeing very clean racing given the circumstances here in Texas. Well, we got some big racing.
Yeah. Chat's rooting for Ducky Birds, currently down there in 24th, well behind this pack ahead, this tight pack of cars ahead. And
right now,
Callie,
speaking which,
start off at pole, is currently around the midpoint.
So right now I am just checking on the championship standings right now and looking into the field of cars who mostly use hang on, I'm just gonna double check Chevy engines here. But that doesn't really matter too much in the grand scheme of things. Speaking of which, I just wanted to take a look into Nimi, who has been underwhelming in the first two races of the season. Nimi right now currently running 25th here in Texas. In Michigan, she did run a decent race to get herself in, let's say, 19th place. But for now, looking into the set of circumstances that we're seeing here, I hope that we could see more of Nimi, especially in the coming races, because she has had an explosive debut and all that stuff, debuting an all-new Live 2D model, and oh my smokes, she looks like a fully grown tap bear.
Yeah, and nice attention to detail, in which especially the tapir ears, the younger, smaller tapirs tend to have spots, and fully grown tapirs have no spots, and such a feature carried over from her small original model with the spots on her ears, and her fully grown model has no spots on her ears. So very nice, showing their work with that small feature, smallest details. Paying attention to the smallest details.
Yeah, so essentially, speaking of details here, we got a big picture to look into, and that is the pack of cars already coming into lap traffic. Let's see how these drivers will try to manage the lap traffic that is going to be in front. Right now, Lena Lazar is in control of this race with a quarter of the race already passing. Sui and her pack of cars on the bottom are already making use of the superior grip at the bottom. Let's see how it goes. With lap cars currently about to play a big role in this race.
27 in the lead, lap 10-10, and Pochi each down 1. Rin down 2.
And right now we are just going to be checking at Derek, who is currently at the back of the field here. Looking at her, she's in 26 based on the timing tower. And right now, I also want to point out about when you're in basically these pack racing in ovals especially, you always have to think about where you need to place yourself in what specific point of the race. If it's early in the race, it's a good idea to hang back if you know that there's going to be lots of attrition in the middle or in the front. Because if you're in the front, well, the issue is now becomes whether or not you are able to still lead the pack. And in the mid pack, it's all about not making any silly mistakes, because if you crash at the front or in the middle, then, well, you're going to be creating a scrap heap.
Yeah, you're just playing dominoes right there.
And speaking of which, Kawasaki Sui now piling on the pressure on the top laners, because Sui and Kitanya are now working in tandem with the rest of the drivers in the bottom lane. And you can see here Kitanya with Hannah already working there, and then you can see Kawasaki Sui will now try to peel on the outside. Man, this reminds me of cycling here. I mean, when you talk, you want to talk about
Velodrome
trying to preserve
cycling?
your. Yeah, not just velodrome cycling. I believe it's called. I think there's a specific term for it, where the leader at the front, when they get too tired, they basically peel back to the back to essentially recharge. And in these types of cars, it's a bit different. So because you might want to do this for fuel efficiency, especially in races where pit stops are going to be a big factor.
I've never ridden proper bicycles, so I wouldn't be able to emphasize with that. Yeah. A lot of people ride bicycles. They make it look so easy. Yeah. Me, I don't know how I'd be able to cope with riding on two wheels, just trying to keep balanced on such great transportation creations.
Speaking of which, the official term in cycling is called a peloton. I'm not sure if the peloton is going to be a big factor here in this race, especially given that we don't know if there will be pit stops or not in this race. Will there be a pit stop shuffle? But anywho, we are seeing at least 4 leaders now, with Captain Hannah currently leading the field. It's now a single file for the first 3 cars. Well, is this a sign to come that the tires are now starting to give way?
We are indeed approaching halfway. Still waiting to see if and when the first batch of cars will be coming into pit lane.
So we are just going to see here Kawasaki Sui now staying in the bottom here, but no support from the bottom just means that she is almost unable to go with the rest of the field, but she does have some side drafting with Kitanya and almost hitting Kitanya as well.
Ooh.
And Sui has the better grip here coming to turns 1 and 2, more confident on the car. She slots in back onto the single file.
Cottontail trying to close in on the others, but here comes Juna Unagi on the inside line, moving up into the top 5, but losing position.
I saw parts. What happened there?
Yeah, someone lost a part bow. We'll have to go into pit lane and recover something.
Yeah, that's Bao currently in the pits, not having a time of her life, possibly being beached. And you know how hard it is when you get beached. But anyways, past the halfway point and looking at the rest of the field here, I'm just going to check about the oval specialists who are running in this race. And that is, of course, we're talking about Derek and Juna Unagi, part-timers who are racing in oval racing here. Derek and Juna Unagi not doing a good job at the moment relative to the others, but at least Unagi, I believe, based on my observation, is doing pretty well though. Now in the top positions, so she's already subverting expectations. Let's see what the oval specialist has to offer.
Doobie up in front at the moment. Juna Unagi being sort of more or less assisted by her fellow former Idol Corp teammate as she goes into the lead. The oval specialist here.
And let's see if Juna Unagi has some tricks up her sleeve. Ida Pochi is in front, so will there be some pickings from the lap car? Will Juna Unagi be using Ida Pochi as a pick? But I will watch out though for the inside line, who will still have the superior amount of grip, because look at Doobie trying to test her luck by going all alone on the bottom, but it hasn't worked so far. Oh, she's gonna try it again, and she has actually a very good run.
Able to find the inside, just being blocked by Rin's car at the moment.
Ooh, yes. Right now we are checking. Also, Doobie now working with her fellow teammates at the side of the in the bottom lane. As we are now coming into into the second half of the race. Rin Penrose continues to control the lead at the moment, or was that the lap cars? Anyways, Doobie now gets under pressure from Juna Unagi. This is what I mentioned about lap cars being used as a pick.
Strategy coming into play. The racing may seem simple, all left-hand turns, but there's certainly much more than that going on.
Yeah, especially given that these corners all have small nuances. Oh, so I saw someone going down the apron. That's Captain Anna trying to lock here on a 4-wide maneuver. But as I mentioned there, each of these corners in an oval racetrack, they may look the same, but they all have those different nuances that you need to always pay attention to. Because if you think everything is the same, if you use the same approaches to every single corner, then you're probably going to be in the safer areas more often than not.
All 30 cars are still intact. A few having to take brief stops at pit lane to recover lost parts, but still no race retirements.
Lumine having a very having a very great launch there in between turns 1 and 2. A lot of confidence is put onto the car into the first 2 corners, and right now she is rocking at the moment in the lead. Nimi Nightmare wants to possibly convert those dreams into nightmares for Lumine, as Nimi is currently running in second, or am I
second.
Seeing anything?
Nimi is second.
Remember what I said about Nimi not having the season that she was not started the season that she was looking for? Let's hope that this race is going to be a turning point for her.
Doobie goes ahead of a few cars, regains the lead with 17 and a half laps to go.
Oh yes, Doobie and Nimi. Oh man, they really ring through the tongue very well, the naming there.
Nimi and Numi.
Yeah, Nimi and Numi also very good as well.
Amir Aranya, Indy 500 champion from last year, and also 2-time IndyCar Series champion, doing well here in the top 5 at the moment.
And speaking of which, we are just gonna check about the other aspects of the race that we want to take a look into. Well, let's see what happens in the mid pack, especially in the mid pack right here. Nyanya Banyanya, who was in the front of the field, now down in the pits and having to pit the car while trying to fix any ailments on that banana car.
Yeah.
Double X
has to go around to the front cars have to go around Rin Penrose. Rin being an obstacle for many of the front runners in this race. Late in this race, we're over 3/4 of the way through this third round.
Speaking of which, we got Azur mentioning about double XFH inside top 10.
Yeah.
Not sure about that at the moment because it may change anytime. Right now, it might be the case, but I would say that Nimi is doing a very, very good job of staying where she is at the moment. Stays at the back in the first half and then showcases her cards in the second half. And speaking of which, Doobie right now has, I'm not sure, I think she is inside the top 6. So very much great developments here. Oh yeah, there was a contact. I saw that as well. And now Mia Aranya, as I mentioned, the Indy 500 winner, trying to apply her trade against Snuffy. Let's see how it goes.
Nimi hoping to catch up pretty soon to Numi. Nimi and Numi, don't confuse the names.
Ooh. So we are just going to check about...
Nimi charging! Going up into the lead.
Ooh. Oh, wow. That is a very interesting development. As I mentioned there in the corners, Nimi using that corner to great advantage and then tried to go for a very, very quick exit there. And right now, Nimi now clearing Ren Penrose with 10 laps to go. You think Nimi can really start the season right here?
We'll just see what happens. We still have yet to see a possible shuffle. Mia Aranya to second, Mint Phantom in third.
Ooh, very spooky there, and also very dangerous in that position and in that livery, that orange and that green and white livery.
Best approaching is Catania.
Oh yeah, Catania as well. Great exit from the 3 and 4, as you notice. But right now, it's all about playing chicken in this final few laps. Whoever chickens out first is going to be the one that might lose. But if it chickens out at the right time and gets people carried away, then they're going to be using the carried overness and ego and the overconfidence as a booster.
Whoa,
anyways,
there she goes. Catania to the lead.
Yeah, the inside line still being king so far, but you can make the outside line work. Nimi Nightmare is going to try to cause problems to Kitanya right now. Now she has the inside line with coming to 6 laps to go.
Everyone's still out. Inside line being the way to go throughout
right
this
now,
race.
Speaking of which, Ida Pochi currently the lap car. Nimi currently running in second. Kitanya is separated. Kitanya and Nimi are separated by Ida Pochi right now. So it's all about which lines will you be taking coming into the final 5 laps of this race.
Drivers waiting for an opportunity to break the line and perhaps make a strike here. Catania breaks the line and wants to improve her positioning. Mia Aranya.
Ooh,
there
trying
she
to
goes.
Get second place. Gets second place right now. Beats Nimi. But right now, Nimi might have the support from the outside line. She might steal the lead from both of them.
Nimi Nightmare regains the lead.
If she can hang on to this, it will be a very, very popular win. She basically entered in style around earlier this year. And now she has lap cars as support. But Kitanya isn't going to take it lying down. Will she turn everyone's dreams into nightmares and turn everyone else's nightmares into her dreams? Let's see how it goes from here as we now come into the final 2 laps.
3 more miles of action here. Race
and now
results still far in doubt. Mia Aranya tried to catch up to Catania on the inside line.
The outside line having a lot of support here. It's all about blocking at the right time and in the right place. Mia Aranya is hot on the heels.
White flag, 1 to go. Nimi still leading.
I have no idea, but right now Nimi is gonna make her dreams come true. And in her 3rd start, if I'm not mistaken, in IndyCar, will she make it work?
Coming down to the finish. Will it be enough for Catania or someone? No, it's not going to be enough, and Nimi Nightmare gets the victory in Texas. Nimi Nightmare is an IndyCar winner.
Oh man, starting off the season, in style only in the third race of the season. Where have we seen this before? I feel like I feel like deja vu.
Amir Aranya steals second from Catania, who will finish third. What a finish, lads! Look how close this is. 0.24 was the finish.
Man, I'm just as gobsmacked as you, though, Dag. I mean, we already seen this in the TF 100, and we get to see this in the big old Texas. I guess it's true about what they say. It's always bigger in Texas, especially when it comes to the racing and the race results. Well, at least in IndyCar in the VTRP.
Oh man, Nimmy Nightmare in only her third race scores a win. We have a Nimmy Nightmare win before a second Hurry 1010 win. I say that because the before Grand Theft Auto 6 gag is way too overdone.
Oh yeah, speaking of which, I am just going to point out one thing here. If we're talking about an ex-Formula Hall Life champ, well, the 2023-24 of in Formula Hall Life International, the champion only won one race. The driver who the VTuber that finished second only won 3 to 4 or was that 5 races, but still lost the title. You may be able to win a lot of races, but if you don't have consistency, then that might not be relevant in the grand scheme of things. But anyways, let's talk about the race results. Nimi Nightmare wins, Ami Aranya second, Kitanya third, Min Phantom 4, Umi Kyoko 5th, Yasatoiki 6th, Akuma Numine in 7th, Laimu 8th, Nero 9th, Olivia Monroe 10th, Koki in 11th, Nina Saotome 12th, Snuffy is in 13th, 14th place. Scroll down, and
Nero, Olivia, Koki, Nina, Snuffy, and all right, 14th scrolling down. 26th. Go ahead.
Doobie in 14th, Jericho in 15th. Oh man, Doobie in 14th, Nimi in winning this race. Again, deja vu's. Goalkeeper 16, Captain Hannah 17th, Cottontail VA in 18th, Cali Calico, I believe, who started on pole position, starts 19th, finishes 19th, Juna Unagi, the oval specialist, down in 20th, Saturday 21st, Scuchan 22nd, Lena Lazar 23rd, Kawasaki Sweet 24th, Annie 25th, Nyanya Banyanya 26th, and then Bao 27th, Hore 1010 28th, Ren Penrose 29th, and Ida Pochi in last place. Looks like we got drivers, front wings flying everywhere, but the attrition levels in this race is pretty low for a Texas race, I won't lie.
You know what the amazing thing about Nimi's win was? She started off in 26th and got the victory here.
Amazing, all things considered. It's a big game player, the Nimi Nightmare. I hope to see more wins from her. And let's just hope that she can also have consistency as well. But anywho,
okay.
Looks like you got the championship. Got the championship sorted out.
Just need to put in the bonus point for Hull and make sure the counts look good. It should look good. I'm sure there's 30 cars in there, and I need to mark a couple of NAs, and let's see. The road and street courses should also be NA all throughout. And
speaking of which,
good.
And speaking of which, I do notice here in the oval standings, Nimi now leads Olivia Monroe by 5 points. Annie only behind Olivia Monroe by a single point. These are the only two drivers who have scored 70 points or more in oval races. And now looking into the total standings, it's still Laimu. It's Laimu in the lead, being very consistent so far. If you look at her average finish, average points earned 36, this means her average finish is actually 4th place. So right now, Laimu has the consistency, but if Nimi Nightmare wins a lot of races, then we might be seeing 2003 NASCAR Cup Series all over again.
Interesting observation there, Adak. Limu 108, Olivia Monroe 86, Doki Bird 83, Nimmy Nightmare 78, Mint Phantom 74. A strong start for Mint. Yeah, that's what she needs. That's what she needs after that dismal November. Yeah, stronger May so far after 3 rounds for the Mint Maid.
So, just wanted to also point out we got the next race in Barber, Texas. Barber Motorsports Park coming up. So, Dag, now's a good time to take a short break for around 2 to 3 minutes before we head back because I got a drink to make.
Yeah, so I'm gonna halt the stream for a bit, halt the recording, and then reset both, and then we will head over to Barber in Alabama for round 4. So, see you all in a few minutes. Let's have a look at that very crazy replay. The replay of the finish. Yeah, sorry about the background noise, everyone. Just I wanted to show you that very amazing replay. 0.024 seconds. 0.024. That's the winning margin for Nimmy Nightmare. As we will go.
Dag.
Yes.
Speaking of which, Dag, looks like we do need to double check on the finish here. Can you fast forward to the part where Nimmy Nightmare just hangs on to the finish on the final lap here? Because right now I believe it's on lap 50 or 60. I can't. Oh, it's lap 60.
Yeah, this is lap 60, and yeah, this.
Okay.
Yeah. There it is, the margin of victory, and I will also have it showcased on the Discord. Yeah, that's the margin of victory.
So, and we are just going to just be in shock and awe about this one. Can it get closer? I do believe that there's always a chance for it to happen.
Look at the close finish. Darned safer barrier.
Yeah, exactly. So, I can't wait for the road course races coming up. Dag, how's Barber?
Barber,
Well,
slight YouTube hiccup. Sorry about
Okay,
that.
so I'm just going to do some interesting introductions to Barber Motorsports Park in Alabama. So it is a classic racetrack. Not exactly a classic because it's opened in 2003. It's hosted IndyCar Series, the Motor America, GT World Challenge America, Trans Am, and then the FR Americas. It's a track that is dictated by hillsides and a lot, and also it is a pretty challenging road course. All things considered, is that there's a lot of slow corners, so you might want to focus on braking and some downforce as well, especially coming into the first 10 corners, because there's a lot of slow corners there.
Here's a track preview of this Barber Motorsports Park 2.38 mile, 3.383 kilometer, 17 turn track located in Birmingham, Alabama.
All right, so here you are coming into the final corner, and get a good exit off the final corner. Fight the oversteer, barreled it down onto the front stretch, and then into the turn 1 here. It's a very much a roller coaster section here, and then turn 2. Watch out on the braking into turn 2 here, because if you mess up your braking, then you might lose control of the car. And then turn 3, and then up into turn 4. Might want to lift there, but if you have balls, then you might want to go flat. Turn 5 and 6. Lots of it's very much a cambered here, and then into turn 6, and then into the turn 7 chicane. You can see here lots of marks. You got to hang on in 5th gear, and then down to 3rd and 2nd on a whim. Might want a straight line on that braking section. And then here's a pretty much flat section to look out for. Turns 9 and 10. Don't hit the tire bollards. Great exit into turn 10 for a short burst into the backstretch. Turn 11 and 12, another roller coaster section. It reminds me of Always Radion in Spa. And then to turns 12 and 13, and then 14 into the penultimate corner. So you're gonna need to play with a lot of braking, and a lot of cornering skills are needed if you want to master Barber.
And straight across the line, and let's get right into the action. We are going to Barber in Alabama for round 4.
Well, a quick question from the comments. Since we're talking about Barber, I'm not sure though. Does the government subsidize barbershops? I wish they do. I mean, it's in the name. The proof is in the pudding. Speaking of which, I'm hungry for pudding.
Ditto. Yeah, alright.
Speaking of which, alright, so let's take a look into those who failed to qualify. No. Vienna or Vyasatoiki meet again. Silvervale, I believe, is the road course specialist for this race. And she isn't even qualified in the race. And worst of all, look who qualified last. Yeah, Dag. I know I'm just as stunned as you are, but we're gonna have to continue on the show. But anyways, let's see the pole position time, and it goes to Lena Lazar. Laimu, the championship leader, is in 2nd.
Lena Laimu, and then
we got Ida Pochi in 3rd place, Olivia Monroe 4th, Hori Tenten 5th, Kiki Piampian in 6th, Fangu 7th, Captain Hannah 8th, Nirasawa 9th, and Skuchan 10th, Akuma Numine and Nimi Nightmare make up row 6th, Lucy Pyre in 13th place. And looking into the rest of the field.
Yeah, finally we got to see Fangu in a race.
Well, finally. Anyways, just wanted to point out as well, Juniper Actias in 14th place, Tanya 15th, Sarawi 16th, Fall Shadow 17th, Doobie 18th, Watagashi Uno in 19th, Koki 20th, Nene Amano in 21st, Doki Bird 22nd, Shigure Ui, one of the road course exclusives in this season, 23rd, Sui 24th, Aranya 25th, Umi Kyoku in 26th, and the rest of the field, the final 4 cars on the grid, Nyanners 27th, the road course exclusive, Banyana in 28th, Rin Penrose 29th, and Annie in 30th place. Ooh, talk about a reversal of fortunes.
Yeah. Anyway, we should be set to go, making sure all 30 cars look intact, and they look fine to me.
Anyways,
Dak as well.
Lena
So,
Lazar.
yeah.
Anyways,
Lazar.
Dak. So look at the bottom right. There's the words race and the two chevrons there. It is waiting to be pressed. That just means that we are just very much excited to see how this race in Barber Motorsports Parks go. So, anywho, Dak, if you're ready, let's hit the race button because I am very much pumped.
20 laps per round, 4 seconds. Road and street race here. The first race this series on a permanent road course. Very popular real-life IndyCar racetrack. We'll have the real-life IndyCar race later on. But first, it's the VTuber IndyCar having their own show, their own 20-lap feature race here.
And speaking of which, just wanted to remind everyone, if we say IndyCar, that means the IRL IndyCar. But if we want to emphasize the fact that it's the IndyCar, we gotta say it like IndyCar, so that we can absolutely tell everyone, absolutely distinguish between the IRL ones and the VTuber ones. But anyways, we got 20 laps of racing coming up, Dag. It's your call.
Yes, Limu and Lena Lazar, your front row for this race, round 4 here at Barber Motorsports Park. And off they go.
Well, there's a bit nonchalant there, but now we get to see Lena Lazar. Cut off by Limu, the championship leader already. Everyone looking very comfortable in the first 2 corners, made that first 3 corners. And now Limu has managed to overtake Monroe, who doesn't have a front wing. So this means one thing: Monroe is going to be holding the rest of the field while Limu pulls away from the rest of the pack.
Very, very good start by the Limalicious VTuber.
Well, you gotta thank Monroe for that. Lost her front wing while at the front of the field, and she's gonna be essentially being a mobile chicane for the rest of the field, except Limu, who is just going to stroll along at the front. Haven't we seen this before?
Perhaps. Yeah, and it's funny how Chrono mentioned haircuts shaved a bit too much from the top right there, and so Monroe will go back to the barber for a bit of an adjustment.
Well, she can't add back the hair, only trim it. So, anywho, let's see how it goes for Limu, and she gets caught back up by Ida Pochi. So, the honeymoon didn't really last long as far as staying in the league goes. And also Sui, not having a Sui Lee, she's not having a good day.
Other 28 cars still on the track. It's a bit of a distance, a bit of a gap between second and third.
And just a bit of a correction, 3 cars are serving pit stops at the moment in the last 2 or 3 laps. Joining, of course, Monroe and Sui, I believe, is Amia Aranya.
No, Ami's still on the track.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that one too. I guess my misinformed information is technically still correct. But anyways, Limu and Itapochi are currently very comfortable at the front of the field. And then we got Lena Lazar leading the rest of the field, not making, I believe, the front row start to good use. And speaking of which, Captain Hannah now joins into the pit stop brigade as she has lost her front wing.
Yeah, it does seem like it. We'll focus on her. Yeah. Same haircut gaff, bad hair day.
Yeah, bad hair day, and you can only probably trim it as much as you can before you go bald. And Nimi might just have a bit of experience going bald.
Speaking of,
doing pretty decently in 14th place, behind Pyre and Kitanya on coming into the mini version of a corkscrew. I feel like Barber Motorsports Park has features from other racetracks around the world. It has that mini corkscrew. It has that mini Eau Rouge Radion right here. I mean, it feels like Coda of sorts because it is essentially a Frankenstein version of racetracks you see across the world.
Yeah, this is a really challenging road course, quite popular in real-life Indy racing.
Speaking which, this might be a bit off topic, but why? Just want to talk about the ARO a bit and how it connects with VTRP in a while. But in the ARO, I just received an update. Cool guy named Nico has found out about her win. Just want to give a bit of a context here. Earlier today, there was a split B stream. Speaking with Lena Lazar and Ida Pochi, going toe-to-toe between each other, and basically almost going into a sideways moment. Both of them coming into the chicane, turn 7 chicane. But anyways,
she loses a few spots.
But she manages to at least remain intact. The front wing still stays there. But anyways, back onto the Kogaini Nico topic. Kogaini Nico's car won in the Sugo Super Pre Split B race, driven by So Byung-eun, who a former Serenity Flair driver in Formula Hall Life and Hall Type, as well as Hall Life GT3. And it looks like Nico has caught wind of the news.
That's awesome. As for the Formula Hall World Championship, I have yet to have anyone in the Hall Life talents acknowledge their race wins so far, as Lena Lazar has an incident.
Oh, very, very unfortunate. Started at the front, but it looks to me that she has parts failure. Given how she just stayed there. Oh, never mind. Oh my goodness. Her brakes failed. She couldn't stop the car. Careened into the gravel traps, into the sand pit, and essentially got herself flying above the barriers as well. Hopefully she's okay. Well, actually she is, but I'm just gonna say that as it might be great hopes and wishes for her.
That's the end of Lena's race right there. Unable to go any further. Busted engine.
Ouch. Well, at least that's what it was reported. Speaking of
that was the pole sitter for this race.
Oh.
Juniper down 1.
Speaking of which, I'm just gonna take some time off a bit to report about recent updates in the organization. I wish a Hall Life member finds out about FHWC as much as they do in aero competitions, because I know FHWC also has those great zingy moments that we might see time and time again. And also, a bit of a fun fact there.
Yeah?
It's an entire Hall Life branch in either JP, Device, English, or ID. Device has a 70% hit rate of Hall Life members finding out about my posts. Raden, Rika, Nico, Riona, Chihaya, Vivi, and Hajime.
And sad thing is that the Chihaya car in Formula Hall Life Japan doesn't seem to be doing well so far in the ongoing season.
Also, adding to the situation here, at the very least, in Hall Type Japan, you did score. There was points scored. You did score what we call top 10 in the Autopolis 160-minute split B race. So there's a bit of positive there. That was in the Hall Type. But anywho, back onto the racing scene here in Barber Motorsports Park. Jorge 1010 under pressure against Neuro, the AI-powered VTuber, against the Big Ten. Let's see who wins here.
I was hoping I would give 1010 the number 10 car, but instead she has number 17. Because there's too many drivers with names earlier in alphabetical order than she.
Yes, the alphabetical orders essentially dictating on who gets what number. That's the classic way of sorting out things. But anywho, we are just going to report on a few more things here. As far as the current championship underperformers, or especially those who have been very good on ovals, but haven't been the best in road courses. Nimi Nightmare being one of them. Where is she right now alongside Annie? Because they are very good on road course and ovals, but their road course performances leave much to be desired at the moment.
Maybe currently mid-pack. Annie! Yeah.
Ooh, big question marks for them. But at least Anna looks like Nimi is going to buck the trend of oval specialists not performing well in road courses, because she's doing very well on a road course as well. Ida Pochi now under pressure for Numine. You see here at the as the cars go about on the final corner and into the first corner, with 8 laps complete.
Several cars already making the entry to pit lane. Yana Cookie, Ooey Mama, and Umi.
Ooh, yeah. So we got a few cars already coming into the pits. I believe this is for damaged front wings.
Yeah, most likely.
Ooh, very much a... Oh, it looks like someone makes an outside move against Hori 1010, and here comes the RG Bargy at the fall corkscrew at the turn 7 chicane.
And 1010 remains ahead for the time being.
Alright, so we are now coming into some interesting situations here. As you can see here, Neurosama using her computer brain. Correct me if I'm wrong. That is developed by Vedal.
AI hiccup right there. Limu goes ahead of Neuro.
Ooh, just gonna point out a few more details as we are just going to and there we go. Anywho, the updates have already been sent to wherever, whatever. But anywho, back onto the race here. We are now coming into the second half of this race. Hori 1010 is about to get her second win. I want to hold my breath for this one.
Yeah, because Limu is close behind 1010. Her only win was a shortened half-distance race in the very first series in 2021.
Crazy how we have had a pretty long win drought. I mean, when you have done so well, only for the Lady Luck dealing a bad hand to you and Fate being a cruel mistress, you just can't help but feel devastated and distraught. But this is the power of perseverance, because Hori 1010 continues to race at her best, despite having multiple chances of race wins, literally being ripped apart by her from her heart, and then being put back on, and then only for it to be ripped again. So,
watch out, going too fast. Yeah, we've seen something like that with Lena, but 1010 just was aware of the situation and keeps ahead.
And also no engine issue, because I might think there might be an issue on the brakes or essentially stuck throttle. And here's the part where I mentioned about the turn 7 section here. It was uphill and then suddenly you go downhill, and then the downhill section reminds you a lot of the corkscrew, so you really need to watch your throttle inputs there, and also watch your grip levels because right now you need to follow the racing line, because that's where the most grip is. Because if you go offline, then adios goes to you, and you're gonna be in the grass, or even worse, in the barriers.
Yeah, and no one likes touching grass.
There will be a few who will have to touch grass as a job. Lawnmowers.
Yeah, there is a lawnmower racing. That's a thing.
Yeah, and they do touch grass more often than you think, and they are still racing. But anywho, Limu is losing touch to Hori 1010. Hori 1010 is absolutely soaking up the pressure very well. But right now, we are now asking the big old question, the $1 million question. Would Lady Luck deal a bad hand once again? Again, I'm going to hold my breath for this one.
Yeah, there's still plenty of action going on the left. Yeah, this race is still far from over here.
And speaking of races that are not over yet, we are just looking into the gaps at the mid-pack. Very much a train forming in the middle behind 1010, Laimu, and Ida Pochi, who is trying to recover from the disappointment that was in Hori 1010. What happened to her? She slowed very crazily in the first coming to the first corner. What happened to Hori 1010?
Yeah. This is what we mean by this race is far from over. Yeah, that was certainly bound to happen, I'm sure. And she's going to lose another spot to Nero. And almost got threatened by Akuma Nimune.
And let's see if she is able to get herself back, because right now Laimu is pulling away. Watashi Uno is not having a bueno moment as she now goes into the pit lane. Laimu currently in control of the field as it stands right now. But let's see how much longer she's able to hang on.
1.5, almost 1.5 second lead for Laimu, as the others try to close in on her. As we'll come down to 7
laps to go, and we still have lots to talk about. As you mentioned, the cows haven't come home yet. We can still talk about a lot of things here as the race continues to progress. Nyanya's looking pretty slow because she's in the pits. Lost her front wing. Same goes for Actias.
Yeah, I can notice very closely that they've both lost their front wing. Yeah, we've seen several instances of front wing loss here in Barber,
which is a bit of a shame here, but now we get to see Laimu now struggling to hold on to the lead against Ida Pochi. Nirosama also waiting in the wings. Also, Hori 1010 trying to take whatever scraps possible. She is just hoping that the scraps is a 5-star gourmet dinner in the form of a race win. But will it come?
Oh, a nice close shave fitting that to Madison Barber. As Pochi goes up in front, passes Laimu for the lead.
6 laps to go. 14 laps complete. And right now, Laimu's dropped down the position from the last lap. Hori 1010 not giving up on this battle. She's going to try to challenge the inner Dale Earnhardt. I wonder if a certain Gray will be watching the stream, because right now 1010 is going to try to use the perseverance of Dale Earnhardt to continue digging through the races to see if she can able to at least win another race. And Saraway goes into the pits. What happened to her?
Same situation as previous, I'm sure.
Ooh, anywho, Hori 1010 now piling under pressure on the top three. The top three piling under pressure against each other. Let's see who's gonna be chickening out first. Nirosama currently in control so far, and watch out for Numine, who is going to chase the pack.
10-10 on the move. Now she starts to strike.
Really?
Improves
and
to second. Passes both Laimu and Nero to regain second. With 5 to go.
And right now, 5 laps to go. Is it over yet? Well, it's not, because we still have 5 laps to go. I'm channeling my inner Will Buxton here. Anywho, Ida Pochi, will she be able to hang on to the lead with the final quarter of the race looming?
The drivers just pondering their next move, when they'll try to break the racing line and try to attack the car or cars immediately ahead.
And right now we got Hori 1010 continuing to attack. Maybe there might be a mistake from Ida Pochi. As you can see here, 1010 continues to hound the rear wing of Ida Pochi, trying to force her into a mistake, especially in this hilly circuit where mistakes can be pretty common if you are not careful. Scoocha, meanwhile, is in the top 5. Interesting.
Yeah, Numi dropping 1 spot, but still driving fine in the top 10. Down to 4 laps out of 4 laps left in this 20 lap race. Plays it.
And Ida Pochi continuing to soak up the pressure that's being dished out by Jorge 1010. Would this be the race of reckoning? Because right now this is currently the big test for 1010, who last won, of course, in 2021, wanting to end a 4-year winless drought. And I'll be real with you. If she does win this race, then it's gonna be a massive, massive celebration coming up in the next few days.
It's Star Wars Day. 1010 trying to channel her inner force, trying to see if the force is with her.
And right now, I just want to pay attention on who is in front of Ida Pochi. Are there any lap cars currently in the fight? The answer is no, based on the track map. And this time we got Limu back in the hunt so far. It's all gonna come down to whether or not Ida Pochi can have a mistake-free final 3 laps of this race. But watch out for Limu.
Ooh, goes ahead of 1010.
Dear. I fear this may happen once again. Oops,
Kuchan is threatening Nero 5th.
Van Good is doing very well though in her first start this season.
Down
Van Good doing very well.
Down there in pit lane. Yeah.
Unfortunate. Oh, very, very unfortunate. Speaking of which,
work.
Yeah, looks like she made contact with someone, I believe. But right now we are checking Ida Pochi, who's still currently in the lead. Will Pochi be able to take the reins?
Yeah, last year Pochi, last year at this time Pochi was a part-time driver for ovals only, I believe. But I think she would prefer racing on road and street courses. Both her wins so far in IndyCar have been on the very same track at Detroit Belle Isle, and her wins were separated by about a couple of years, and she might have a chance to get her 3rd win only just a few short months after her last win.
And speaking of which, I just wanted to point out another fun fact. If she does win here, she will lose the title of the single track merchant. But we will see whether or not she's able to defend the crown and the throne in the final laps of this race. As now we get to see Limu piling again and again against Ida Pochi. But watch out for Jorge 1010, who might just be able to steal it out in the final lap. Let's see how it goes.
Here we go to the white flag. 4 cars very close to each other. We'll try to see who can steal the win, maybe. Uh-oh, here comes Nero, and Nero steals a potential podium from 1010.
4 years of trying. Another race of disappointment coming up for
Never
1010. Something's going on, and that is
Nero screws up. Nero. Oh man.
The computers are fried. The computers are fried on that machine. The Leo Sarwa just went on into the tire, and I think she did vault over into the middle of the other side of the track. Anyways, Ida Pochi might still have this race under control. And
no! She crashed into Nero. Are you kidding me, man?
4 years of trying, another race of disappointment. Another year of frustration, and it's gonna be Ida Pochi taking this win here in Barber Motorsports Park.
Yep.
Well, at least she no longer gets called a single track merchant. That's the one positive that we may take from this race. Limu will extend her championship lead as a result.
And a podium for Skuchan.
Ooh, also a bit of a bonus there.
Well, great, that happened.
Man, I'm just trying to find words to explain about that. This is very much morale breaking. At least you can see here, Hori 1010, what was supposed to be a great result from her regardless, would mean that she will now exit Barber with a bag on her head because it's a big case of what could have been for her. Ugh.
2 consecutive races finishing on just 1 point.
Absolutely crazy there. If you look into the situation here, and speaking of which, here I do notice.
Yeah?
What was that? Looking into Jorge Tenton's stats this season, I would say she's done pretty decent so far. For the first two streams were doing okay, but yeah, this today hasn't been the best of days for her. Might as well recharge and move on to the next one. Anyways, Ida Pochi takes this win over Laimu, Skuchan third, Kitanya fourth, Kiki Pion Pion fifth, Lucy Pyro sixth, Doobie seventh, Fall Shadow eighth, Olivia Monroe ninth, Nene Amano 10th, Kawasaki Sui 11th, Captain Hannah 12th, Doki Bird 13th. Dak, let's scroll down.
And 14th and below.
Ami Aranya 14th, Rinpan Rose, Shigure Ui 16th, Annie Koki, and Nyanya Banyanya make up 15th, 16th, 17th, 18th, and 19th. Umi Kyoko rounds out the top 20. Saraway in 21st, Watagashi Uno 22nd, Natasha Nyan 23rd, Fangu 24th. Nimi Nightmare has a case of nightmare on road courses as she finishes outside the top 20 once again on a road course. 10-10-26 in a absolutely cruel way to lose a race like that. Neurosama 27th, Juniper at TS in 28th, Akama Numine 29th, and Lena Lazar rounds out the top 30.
Pole sitter, not so hot here, finishing 30th, and we'll just get 2 points to her name.
So let's get the names ready here as we are going to get the points here. And don't forget Lena Lazar. Lena Lazar will be having 3 points.
Yeah, just...
Oh, never mind.
Just 2.
1.4 pole position. Oh, yeah. But anywho, that has been a very cruel race for many, but at least Irapochi will have an unfavorable title get removed from her. But anyways, back into the situation here. The biggest winners in this, the biggest winner in this one, I believe, is Ida Laimu, who continues to earn a lot of points, who is currently the total championship leader. Ida Pochi will now take the road course crown as she takes win number 3 on a road course over Laimu and Doki Bird in second and third. But anyways, I do want to point out about Laimu's average finish. It has now increased to almost third.
Ooh!
An average finish of third for the first 4 races for Laimu. She is currently hot property right now. Will she be able to hang on so far? That's going to be a question that we will be answering in the next IndyCar stream. But for now, we will be moving over to Indianapolis for qualification for the Indy 500 race.
Just putting in the top 5 as they stand. Laimu 158, Pochi 110 points and 1 win. Olivia 110 points and 1 second place. Doki Bird 99 points and Catania 86 points.
And speaking of which, we're just going to have another short break before we are gonna have to move on to Indianapolis for qualification. So Dak, let's go for it.
Yeah, the season is still young. There's still 14 rounds, 11 rounds left. Why am I saying 14? 11 rounds left. We just finished round 4. 11 rounds left, so anything can still happen. Yeah, next 2 rounds will be the Indy Grand Prix and Indy 500. But first, we'll take a break for a bit and then get to the qualifying heat for the Indy 500. 16 will enter, 7 will leave empty-handed.
And go home probably crying. But anyways, let's have a short break, Dag. We'll see you in a few minutes.
Yes, I'd see you in a bit. So we have an update from race officials. There'll be, I'm afraid, no penalty, for Nero. That was a complete racing incident. It's not on purpose. It just happened.
Ooh. Speaking of which, we are just going to point out a few more things here. We are now going to get into what are basically the prelude to the biggest showpiece in Indy VTuber racing. It's going to be the heat races for the Indy 500. We're now going to be seeing the heat races, as you mentioned. 16 cars go in, 7 cars go out. Let's see who will be on the chopping block and who will be advancing into the greatest spectacle in VTuber racing, at least in the US, in Indies.
Yeah, just need to make sure I got the names all in. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then another 8. Yep. So it's going to be an 8-lap qualifying heat. Top 9 will qualify for the Indy 500. The other 7, better luck next year.
Oh dear. So we got a pretty small race. To think that we will have qualifying races for the big show. So anywho, let's confirm the settings here. Let's hit the load button, and I can't wait to see who will be making the show.
Load. Oh man, this is gonna be crazy stuff.
Anyways, we're looking into the greatest spectacle of racing. Let's see who will be qualifying in where. Let's finish session. And on pole position.
Looks like it'll be Nene at pole for this qualifying heat. Oddly enough, because Nene has trouble on ovals. Nene and Hina and Chibi, and then go ahead with the rest.
The top 3. Juniper Atias in 24th place, Natasha Nano's 5th, Contail VA 6th, Vienna 7th, Grape 8th, Cali Calico 9th, Adina Sautomi 10th, Diariku 11th, Shigri Ui 12th, Ellis Alaria in 13th, Silvervale 14th, Juna Onagi 15th, and Fangu makes up the 16 car field. Remember, top half make the cut, the bottom half go bye-bye.
Yeah, more or less. The top 9 through, bottom 7 not quite through.
So anyways, if you want to be safe, be in the top 5. If you want to be a bit precarious, top 10. But anywho, let's go to the next session and hit the race button. Can't wait to see how the prelude to the Indy 500 goes.
Yeah, it's going to be a quick 8-lap sprint. We'll make it into the 500. Let's
hit the race button.
Hit the race button, yes.
And there we go. All 16 cars are parked in the front stretch here. We might have a pretty small field at the moment, but I do have faith that we will be seeing a great racing all throughout. I do have a suggestion coming up for you, Dag, later on. So that one I will be explaining outside of the stream. But for now, we got cars currently coming on the first 2 corners here in Indianapolis, and then coming into the final 2 corners, we will officially start this qualifiers race. I would say that we might be seeing another last lap pass and another photo finish, but we'll see how it goes from here. Let's take it to you, Dag, for the start of the qualifiers race for the Indy 500.
Yes, so 16 cars, Rodent street course only, oval only, and of course the TF 100 winner from yesterday, Elias Delaria, fighting for 9 spots. Who will make it to next Sunday's Indy 500? We are gonna find out in just a few short seconds as the safety car comes in. 8 laps to decide it all.
Ring, 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 ring. Boogity, boogity, boogity. Let's get racing here in Indianapolis.
Qualifying heat is underway.
Ooh, full bore in turn 1, and Amano now leading Hina Bobina. But right now the idea is to always pay attention to the 9th place cutoff. 10th or lower. If your finish position has double digits, you're going home. But if it's single digits, you're moving on.
Some cars pushing ahead. Yes, some and 3 wide.
Yarika now trying to get a good run onto the field here. And now we have the top 4 pulling away from the rest of the field due to 5th on back on their own tussle at the moment. Natasha Hernandez now under pressure for the rest of the field. And watch out for the beehive of cars near the back of the field. They're all trying their best to make themselves closer into the top 10. And right now, who is currently in 9th?
Who is currently in 9th? Nina, ahead of Juniper.
Juniper Actias currently in the on the outside looking in. Shigure Ui is also on the outside looking in, as she now goes down the inside to bring Sao Tome down to her knees. I mean, her posture isn't any better, as Shigure Ui is gonna try to use the inside line to essentially make things work.
It's currently Vienna, who's well ahead of the others.
Well, good morning, Vienna. Anywho, we do have more movements here, because some drivers might want to race for qualification, others might want to try to go for the win. But remember, if you make the big race, then you get paid big bucks. So you really want to think about your risk factor coming in this race so far, as Nina Saotome might not have support in the middle. Oh, there is support, as it's now going to be 3 wide. And right now we do have Calito in the cutoff position here. The cutoff positions are going to be pretty interesting to see here, as Sao Tome shoves off Neta Hernandez and almost shoving Juniper off.
It's currently Cottontail on the bubble, but a lot of positions change here.
Actually, it's Juniper. It will still within the bubble. First car on the outside looking in is Cottontail right now, and right now she is gonna try to bring someone down outside of the bubble. So right now we can have half of the race done, half of the race to go, and Amano currently still in control.
Elias Stellaria in 4th may have a chance to qualify for the 500 after winning the TF100 in spectacular fashion.
This is, if you want to talk about football terms, imagine being a small club in Europe winning the UEFA Europa League, and suddenly you are in the qualification phase for the Champions League, and suddenly you have won all of your qualifier games, and then you're suddenly in the group stage, and you're with the big boys.
Oh, Cottontail was in the cutoff point, but lost it briefly. Oh, she's losing it.
Nina's on the inside. Where did she come from?
Cottontail doesn't want to give up without a fight. Neanders doesn't want to just lose it.
Shigure Ui is still in the cutoff. I do want her to be in the 500 and showcase her new driving posture. And it looks like it's a great run around the outside.
Oh, a bit of a shuffle here.
And the outside line absolutely being very much advantageous on the straight.
Yariku.
And right, I'm not sure if Shigure Ui is in the cut line or not.
Outside of the cut line.
Pay attention to the cut line, because we might be seeing a last lap pass, all things considered, into the helicopter cam. We might be seeing shuffles right into the final stages of this race. White flag coming up.
Oh, this is gonna be big. Who will make it in? Who will not want to go?
Ooh, and it's now gonna be Shigure Ui still looking for any spaces. She might try to send either Chibidoki or Jericho out of the 500, and right after the 3-wide action, it's probably gonna be in Shigure Ui's advantage. And now we get to see Juniper also going down the inside of Stellaria, I think.
Who is gonna make it in? Who will not? Oh, it's gonna be
the outside line is
dangerous.
currently being blocked.
It's gonna be Juniper making it in. Aaliyah Stellaria is in the 500. Shiguri Ui does not make it in. Oh, man.
Oh man, what a whimper. And it's especially a very unfortunate thing. Fresh new livery for her, especially for the Indy 500, and she's not gonna be even gonna be in the great VTuber race.
Congratulations to Juniper Actius. Aaliyah Stellaria will race in the Indy 500. Cottontail VA, Hina Bobina, Nina Saltome Jariku, Nana Amano is in the 500 with her idol livery. Vienna and Chibidoki. Those are your 9 drivers who will get to race. Shiguri
And speaking of Shiguri Ui, by around 5/1000ths of a second.
Oh man, that is so close. Probably she would rather prefer to race in the Indy Grand Prix where she won twice in 2021 and 2022, so
that might be the only consolation that she has, but to not race in the greatest spectacle in Indy VTuber racing, it's got to be a big sting for her. But anywho, it's already midnight for me, and we got all of the shows run here, and I do have major projects that I need to complete. So again, thank you, Dag, for today's stream. I look forward to being able to join if there are any opportunities for me to join.
Yes.
If there's anything, I'll let you know. Thank you for the stream, and I'll see you in the next races.
Yes, hope to see you for the Indy 500 next Sunday.
Chill, and also cheers, Dag.
Yes. All right. See ya. Bye-bye. All right. So Juniper Aaliyah, Cottontail, Nina Bobina, Nina. Where is Nina? Nina Diariku, Nana Amano, Vienna and Chibidoki. They are all in. And F's in the chat for Ui, Fangu, Cali Calico, Nyanners, Juna Unagi, Silvervale, and Grape. They will miss out on the 500 for this year. Okay. But anyway, that is going to do it. So next week is the big one, lads. It's the Indy 500 special coming your way in the VTRP channel, starting at, 10 a.m. Eastern, 11 a.m. Eastern. I'll let you know. We'll have round 5, the Indy Grand Prix, and of course the big one, the 2025 Indy 500. 50 laps of action on the IMS Oval. Who will win that Silver Star? Who will achieve Indy immortality? Find out next Sunday, May 11th. Gonna be a really, really awesome stream. Tell your friends, tell your family. Let's see how big of a view count we'll get for that stream. Anyway, that's gonna do it. Congrats to Nimi Nightmare for winning at Texas, Butchie for winning at Barber, and yeah. Have a great week ahead, and we'll see you next Sunday for the Indy Grand Prix and Indy 500 special here in the VTRP channel. Take care, everyone, and that's all for me for now. Bye for now. Up, Sudag.